got bags from Prada, rolling up. I'm in a brand new model. It'll be here tomorrow. I don't got fears or problems. Only got real ones round them. Only got. It take a week to count it. Then I'm back up. Name the place and we back up. Running these racks up. 100 mils.
Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football.
Okay, Coach, it is a brisk night in the Midwest as we bring you football from Paul Brown Stadium in the Queen City, Cincinnati, Ohio. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals. So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first. First time. They'll be led out by Josh Rosen, the 10th overall pick taken in 2018 out of UCLA.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That 2nd down play nets a -4. Though certainly not the start they were looking for here as they come up on a 3rd and 14. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Here come the Bengals now to take over. A very good starting field position for the Bengals here as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. On 1st down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Just a yard on the 1st down. Carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Hey, exit.
Operating from the gun, Novak. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. T.J. Watt, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. So still a scoreless game in the first, but they're going to go for this thing on their own side of the field on 4th down. Back to throw. Novak dancing to his left. He can run for it, and he will. A surprising move to go for it, and predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off, and it'll be a turnover on downs. And, partner, I'm not really sure what in the world they were thinking on 4th and long there at this stage in the game, but you think social media may be firing up a little bit right now?
Oh, the coach is trending right now. Right? There's no doubt about it. People are wondering what that decision was. But it takes me back to a number of years ago. A very successful coach in the league had told himself before.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Hicks. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That goes for a gain of 31. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Now a draw play. This is Connor. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. Now it's Rosen. Open target here, Darius Slayton.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And now it's Rosen looking. That is caught. It's Juju for the Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
The losing streak had taken on a life of its own, and I think it infiltrates a team when you're on that much of a slide. But this group has managed to focus, come out early, and put a touchdown on the board. They look like they mean business in this one.
They do. Now the key, holding on to that attitude, because, man, that streak has been a struggle for them. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the number 1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where it would be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're number 1 in their conference.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Steps away to his left. This is the tight end Fant. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice 1st down.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. Eluding the pressure right to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I like the play call. Roll him out. Give him a chance to run it or throw it. In this situation, he decided to fling it, but couldn't find his man open.
Looking to throw. Novak rolling to his left. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs. From the gun, Novak. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, Brandon, we see why it's a team game there, because there's a sigh of relief that they just released defensively. If he's able to get that one away, that's likely a touchdown. But instead, that pressure from the front.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. From 4 yards out, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter. Out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and we are tied at 7. So that drives 7 plays in length. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And it ends with a Bengals score. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know. We know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time.
Rosen is stripped to the football, and the Bengals grab it. There goes Green. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Cincinnati touchdown. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
Gonzalez to add the PAT. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive, then suddenly the fumble, and you're watching the back of a defender's jersey as he brings it all the way in the other direction.
Not much more I can add to that. I thought you summarized it perfectly, partner. You've just got to regroup and start putting another drive together. That's all you can do.
On the draw, Connor. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Here's Jordan Berry now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchdown.
I feel like you and I could be in our backyard with our dads right now. What did they always say when they were throwing us the ball? Look it all the way in. Make sure you secure it. That had the feeling of not happening there on that play, but he didn't have full control of the ball.
When that punch coming in, I don't have a return punch, but I would imagine it's tough to monitor those guys coming full steam ahead at you.
It really is. You try and get that peek to know where they are, about whether you should fair catch it or not, but sometimes you just have to have a sense, a feeling, and just have to make sure, number one, though, you catch the ball and put it away.
Forced out to his left. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. Now, I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
Throwing on first down. Novak. Flushed out right. Throws right side, and that's complete. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
That's complete right around the 8. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A 1-yard touchdown reception. Now the Bengals, they widen their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well-organized, well-coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Let's go!
The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on second and less than a yard. This is Conner running right. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. Malik Jefferson in there on the stop. On second down now, it's Conner. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down? The Steelers on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Now Rosen over the middle, complete. It's Hicks. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 34-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They go play action here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. The sack by Jordan Willis. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Now Rosen looking to throw. And the pressure gets to him again.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Rosen to throw. And he's going to go down again.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination.
We got this.
So here are the Bengals set to take over. They've got the lead yet again in this ball game with their winning streak right now sitting at 10. They'll run on first down. McBride, and he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. Buying time to his left. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Novak. He's got his big tight end, Fant. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. 2nd down and inches. He's got the 1st down and more inside the 40. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 39.
6-6, pull it high.
On 1st down, it's McBride. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a 1st down. With that run, double-check my math, yes, he has hit 8,000 career rushing yards.
And that's fantastic. That means he's now approaching the top 50 all-time rushers in NFL history. That means he just sped past Terrell Davis, who's in the Hall of Fame. And now he's just got to go ahead and be strong and run hard because he's chasing down Larry Zonka.
Hey, wahoo! Go.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Novak. He's got it. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another 1st. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Back to throw. Novak. And this is caught for a touchdown. Now hold everything here. Flag in the backfield. This one might be coming back. So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
Right over there, right over there. Yeah, yeah. Mike, 58, right there. Hey, Delta.
From the gun, Novak. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Hey, let's go. Get
1st down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Looking to throw. Novak being chased out left. He's going to take off with it, and he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and goal. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal?
58, come on.
Operating from the gun, Novak. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. Final play of the half here. It's Rosen, and he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. This will be taken in at the 1. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Dancing to his left. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again. Novak. This is Fant on the short completion.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Back to throw. Novak looking middle, and that's complete. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 30. On first down, Novak firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection.
And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. From 17 yards out. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
The drive will start with Connor, and they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
If these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
On third down, Rosen. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. He's at the 30, 10, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Juju Smith-Schuster, 76 yards. And the Steelers are able to close the gap just a bit. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
Flush to his right. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards. On 1st and 10, Novak. His throw incomplete. He was trying to find Noah Fant, the tight end, and it's 2nd down. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary here. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3.
Yeah.
Pick it up, defense. Let's go.
58, right over there.
From the gun, Novak escaping the pressure right. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
On 4th down, Novak. And my goodness, this is incomplete. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. He'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. I've seen, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you're focused just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Rosen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one's maybe...
I don't know what was going on there, but the end result, this is going to be a safety. Well, I'm not totally privy to what went on with their offensive meetings, but, Charles, something tells me that one wasn't in the plan.
Yeah, when we had our production meeting, they didn't exactly share that with us, but I'm pretty sure that on the play sheet, the run backwards into your own end zone play was not written down.
Let's go.
And the Steelers set to take the field. These guys had to punt their... last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep him warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
On the draw, Connor, and that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Here's Rosen. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 46, and they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. Well, why do you go out and spend a first-round pick on a defensive back? Plays like that, the rookie gets his first interception.
You have to have guys who can limit the other team's number of plays run and possessions. And no better way than an interception. And what a great way to break into the league.
He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. 2nd and 1. Throw left side complete. That's McBride. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football.
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Looking to throw. Novak going right side here, and that's complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. So that throw good for 4. It's second down. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back to throw. Novak steps away to his left. And now he's good. And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. Not the first time on this drive we saw him take matters into his own hands, and this time he finishes things off with a touchdown run.
You're not going to be happy with me, but I think he took matters into his own feet, didn't he?
Oh, Davis from the top rope. I like it. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
And with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Throwing on first down. Novak forced out to his left. He'll try and run it. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
33 yards that time. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. John Ross, the one he was looking for, but it'll be second down. So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A great effort there with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. Now the Bengals, they widen their lead.
Could not block that one any better. Everyone was accounted for, and a great surge by the offensive line.
Gonzalez good on the extra point, and that will bump the lead up to 26. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to leap. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Rosen will throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Here's Jordan Berry now. He's been terrific so far. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. Now, if you're a fan of punting, this game's for you. He's been out there quite a bit. That one maybe his best yet.
Yeah, he certainly got his leg loose by now. It kind of reminds me of my college football coach, John Majors. He loved the punting game because he liked the positioning, the field position, and he loved to play defense.
And they'll get him down up past the 15. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. A gain of 3, 2nd down. To throw on 2nd down. Novak eluding the pressure right. And he's going to keep it here. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. A good decision in the end to pull it and run. Gets him 9 yards and a first. On 1st down, Novak buying time to his left. Left side here, that's the tight end Fant. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. It's a gain of 34.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for him.
Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. A very solid gain of 27. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. That was DeAndre Baker that time who was able to break that one up. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead. But I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
132 fighter. Go, go.
Operating from the gun. Novak being chased out left. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone can stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see... them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Gonzalez now to add the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
No doubt, Tomarov.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. Just Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They face a third down now as they try to find a late score. To throw is Rosen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Here's Jordan Berry now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Ross on the return. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When you go to the backup, let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Hey, wahoo! 58, 58.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Dancing to his left. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for third down. Now the Bengals going to signal for their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Ready, 70, Indy.
You can't block me. You can't block me. You can't block me.
Watch twist.
Now.
On third and 2, Novak flushed out right. He's got his tight end fan. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on first and goal. From the gun, Novak steps away to his left. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. Back to throw now on second and 10. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a third down.
Don't want it. Keep playing hard, fellas, all day. Whoa.
Ready, 18, Gator.
That's 57. 57's Mike. Know your job.
Hey!
Watch the slant.
Motion. 57's Mike.
From the gun on third down, Novak. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that. But there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Cincinnati, the perfect season remains intact as they move to 11-0 on the year. And they'll get another home date next week as the Packers will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Steelers,